Welcome back to the deep dive. So I was looking at the technical schematics for the T-38 Talon jet while we were prepping for this.
Incredible machine.
It's an absolutely incredible machine, twin engine, supersonic. It climbs at something like 30,000 feet per minute. It's a rocket with a seat.
Right.
But here's the thing. You can have the most advanced engineering in the world, the most perfect aerodynamics, and it all still comes down to one single variable component.
The squishy part in the front seat.
Exactly. The squishy part, the pilot, we usually get bogged down in the mechanics, lift, drag, thrust. But today we are putting the technical manuals away.
Good.
We've got a stack of narratives here, articles, personal essays, flight logs, that look specifically at the psychology of the cockpit. We're talking about the human element, the fear, the ego, the instinct, the preparation.
It is a fascinating collection because it really covers the entire spectrum.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a tragedy that is genuinely difficult to read.
It is.
Then we have a comedy about a terrified mother.
Which we need after the first one.
We do.
Mm-hmm.
And we have this really intense redemption story involving a cadet and, of all things, a swimming pool.
The swimming pool story is wild. I honestly can't wait to unpack that one because it sounds insane until you realize why it worked. But you made a good point when we were reviewing these.
Well, they're not just random anecdotes, right?
No, there's a very specific through line here about pressure.
That's the mission for today. Gravity is a constant. The laws of physics don't change. But how these three pilots handle the pressure of consequences is completely different.
So we're looking at hidden weakness.
Right, a health issue kept secret. Then we're going to see hidden strength, this natural talent nobody knew existed.
And finally, spiritual resilience.
The kind that brings you back from the absolute brink of failure.
And just a quick tone check for you before we dive in. We're going to start with the story that ends in tragedy. It involves a crash, loss of life.
It's heavy.
It is. But stick with us because we are going to move into some lighter and eventually very inspiring territory. We need to see the shadow to appreciate the light.
I agree. In aviation, the stakes are binary. You either land or you don't. We have to look at both outcomes.
So let's open the file on the first narrative. This comes from an account written by a man named Murray Leonard titled John's Life Insurance.
And that title alone, knowing how it ends, is just ominous.
It's incredibly ominous. So to understand this, you have to look at the relationship between these two men. John is the licensed pilot, owns the plane, loves the lifestyle.
And Murray is his best friend. Unlicensed, but a total aviation nut. He loves being up there.
But this wasn't just a, hey, come along for the ride kind of thing. John was training Murray.
Aggressively training him.
Yeah, not just holding the yoke for a second. He had Murray doing takeoffs, landings, radio work, recovering from stalls.
He was basically a shadow pilot.
You would think, what a great friend sharing his passion. But there was a utilitarian motive here.
Right. John wasn't just being generous. He was building a redundancy system. Because John had a secret.
He had high blood pressure.
Severe high blood pressure. Now, for those who don't know, the FAA is incredibly strict about this. You have to pass a Class 3 medical exam. If you have unmanaged cardiovascular issues, you're grounded.
And John was terrified of failing that check.
So he hit it.
Which is just a massive gamble. I mean, he knows he's a ticking time bomb, medically speaking.
He does. He knows he's at risk for a stroke, a heart attack, or just passing out. So Murray isn't just a passenger.
He's the break glass in case of emergency plan.
That's where the title comes from. Murray was the life insurance. The logic was, if John has a stroke at 5,000 feet, Murray lands the plane.
It was a risk mitigation strategy born out of denial.
And they had a rule, an absolute rule.
John never flew alone.
Until August 1995.
The day everything changed. I mean, it sets up like a classic tragedy. It was a beautiful, clear day. A neighbor, not a pilot, just a regular guy, comes to John.
He needs a favor.
Right, he has to get a machine part to a paper mill upstate urgently.
And this is where the Swiss cheese model of accidents kicks in, where all the holes line up.
The first hole. Murray wasn't available that day.
John should have said no. A disciplined pilot says, I don't have my safety net, I'm grounded.
He should have. But the neighbor asked. John saw an excuse to fly. And then he said something that pilots call famous last words.
Oh, no.
He told the neighbor, sure, let's go at 10 a.m. That way we can be home in time for dinner.
Home in time for dinner.
About that pressure.
It's called get-there-itis.
Oh.
It's a recognized psychological trap. The pressure to complete the mission to get back for the meal, it just overrides the safety assessment.
So he breaks his one golden rule. He takes the non-pilot neighbor, leaving his insurance policy, Murray on the ground.
And the flight up is fine. They deliver the part.
Yeah.
But on the way back,
The weather turns, a front moves in. John tries to fly under the clouds, probably looking for a place to put down.
and then witnesses on the ground describe something terrifying.
The plane stops behaving like a plane. It becomes erratic.
And it dives. A 45-degree angle, full throttle, straight into a lake.
Both John and the neighbor were killed.
Instantly. And the haunting part, the thing Murray writes about, is that we'll never know exactly what happened in that cockpit.
Was it the heart attack he always feared? A stroke? Or did he just get disoriented?
We'll never know. But the implication is crystal clear. If it was a medical event, and Murray had been there,
Murray would have taken the stick. He would have landed the plane.
the tragedy isn't just the potential medical event, it's the removal of the safety net. He flew without his backup system on the one day he needed it most.
It's a brutal lesson in what they call the normalization of deviance.
Explain that.
You break the rule once, hiding the medical condition, and nothing bad happens, so you feel safe breaking another rule flying without Murray. You think you'll get away with it again.
Exactly. You get away with it until the physics of the situation catch up with you. Aviation just punishes complacency.
Okay, let's take a breath. That was heavy, but important. I want to pivot now to the second story, because it flips the script entirely.
It does.
We're going from a veteran pilot making a fatal error to a complete novice who, well, he surprised everyone.
This is the story First Flight by Paul Schlechter. And frankly, we need this as a palate cleanser.
We do. This one cracks me up because of the family dynamic. So we have Justin, he's 12 years old, decides he wants to be a pilot.
And the parents put him off with video games for 2 years.
Finally, 14th birthday, they cave, they get him an intro flight.
But we have to talk about the mother, Brenda.
Oh, Brenda is the star of this story, at least at the beginning. She is described as a huge scaredy cat.
To her, a small Cessna is not an airplane. It's a sardine can with wings.
Her reaction is so relatable for non-flyers. I mean, small planes are loud, they vibrate, you feel everything.
He goes into full panic mode. Paul, the dad, writes that Brenda insisted he review the location of all their important papers, just in case.
That is dark humor. Here's the will, have a nice flight.
And then, my favorite part, she announces she's going shopping all day so she doesn't have to think about her family up there in danger.
She just completely disassociated from the whole event.
Coping mechanism activated.
So Justin and his dad go to the airfield. They meet the instructor, Dave. They get in. Dave takes off. And then almost immediately,
He gives the controls to 14-year-old Justin.
and this is where the story shifts from, a comedy about a nervous mom to a study in natural aptitude, because Justin isn't struggling.
Not at all.
The dad's watching from the back seat, and he says Justin is handling the plane with ease and grace, like he's been doing it for years.
But the dad is still nervous.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's one thing to fly straight and level. It's another thing to land.
Right.
And this is the climax. They're approaching the landing strip. The dad, Paul, is in the back, and his internal monologue is just going crazy.
He's watching the runway get closer and closer.
He's sweating, and he keeps thinking, when is Dave going to take over? Why isn't Dave grabbing the yoke?
He's waiting for the adult to step in.
Exactly. The ground is rushing up, and Dave does nothing. He's just giving verbal advice. A little longer. Hold it. And the kid lands it. A 14-year-old, on his first actual flight, lands the plane on a dime, smooth as silk.
And Dave never touched the controls.
Never touched them.
See, this is the flip side of the first story. In that one, we had experience corrupted by bad judgment. Here, we have zero experience elevated by pure instinct.
Justin just had it.
He did.
Yeah.
The dad says Justin is a commercial pilot today. He was just meant to be.
It really raises an interesting point about, neural wiring. For some people, the airplane is just an extension of their body immediately.
But that is so rare.
Which brings us to our third path, because most people aren't Justin. Most of us have to fight for it.
And that brings us to Bruce Sweezy. His story, Wings of Prayer, is the deep dive of this episode. This is the struggle.
So Bruce is an Air Force cadet. He's wanted to fly jets since he was a kid.
Inspired by movies about the Air Force Academy.
Right. He's in pilot training in Columbus, Mississippi, flying the T-38.
And, for context, going from a slow prop plane to a T-38 ISCO. It's violent. It's a supersonic jet trainer. You're going from 100 knots to Mach 1.2.
Yeah.
It is fast, twitchy, and totally unforgiving.
And if your brain gets behind the jet,
You're in big trouble. And Bruce is struggling. He's dealing with inconsistent instructors getting passed around. And then The failures start piling up.
He fails his first check ride.
Because of spatial disorientation in the clouds, he basically got the leans. His inner ear was telling him he was turning when he wasn't.
Scary.
Very. Then he fails his second check ride because he violated airspace. Basically flew outside the invisible box he was supposed to stay in.
And in the Air Force, what's the rule?
3 strikes and you're out.
Yeah.
You fail 3 check rides, you wash out. You're done. Bruce is sitting on 2 strikes.
This is the low point. He's staring into the darkness, praying. And this is where the story takes a spiritual turn. Bruce wasn't super religious, but he had started reading the Bible.
And he locks onto the story of Joseph.
From the book of Genesis. Joseph, sold into slavery by his brothers, thrown into prison for a crime he didn't commit.
Right. And Bruce looks at Joseph and thinks, this guy never lost confidence. He had persistence.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce realized he needed that kind of grit.
But he also needed a way to practice. And you can't just take a T-38 out for a joyride?
No, fuel costs,
Yeah.
maintenance, you can't just borrow a jet. So he had to get creative.
Yeah.
And this is the aha moment of the episode for me.
The swimming pool.
The swimming pool.
Explain this. He goes to the base swimming pool to learn to fly a jet.
It sounds absurd, but it's brilliant. He went to the pool every day. He'd get in the water and maneuver his body as if he were the plane.
So he's doing loops and rolls underwater.
Exactly. Cuban 8's, Immelman's aileron rolls, physically moving his body through the water to simulate the flight path. But here's the genius part. The constraints.
The walls of the pool.
Yes. He decided the side of the pool was the airspace boundary, the thing he failed on. If his knuckles or his toes scraped the concrete side of the pool, that was a failure.
So he'd have to start over.
He'd start over. This is intense visualization. It's not just sitting in a chair with your eyes closed.
No, it's kinesthetic.
He's engaging his vestibular system by tumbling underwater. He's holding his breath, creating physical stress. He is building muscle memory and spatial awareness, using concrete walls as feedback.
He's rewiring his brain to feel the boundaries of the box.
It's deliberate practice in its purest form. He didn't have the resource, the jet, so he simulated the constraint, the pool.
But the Air Force wasn't convinced yet. The reinstatement board voted no.
They wanted to wash him out. They did.
But Bruce, channeling that Joseph persistence, refuses to accept it. He marches into the office of the wing commander, Colonel Whitey Miller.
That takes guts. A cadet marching into the wing commander's office.
I love this scene. He's in his crisp blue uniform, shoulders back. He shakes the colonel's hand and basically says, I know how to fly. I've done the work.
He tells him about the pool exercises, explains the whole thing.
And Colonel Miller
looks at him. He admits he'd already decided to sign the discharge papers. But he says, son, you impress me. He saw the confidence.
And he gave him one more chance.
One more chance. One flight. Do or die.
The final check ride. The stakes could not be higher. If he fails one maneuver, the dream is dead.
Bruce describes it so vividly, the afterburners kick in. He rockets to 150 miles per hour in seconds, then up to 24,000 feet. 500 miles per hour.
G-forces are crushing him.
And he goes into the routine. Loops, rolls, and the whole time, what is he thinking about?
Whoa!
He's telling himself, keep it tight, Squeeze. He's imagining those concrete walls superimposed over the sky, making sure his knuckles don't scrape the edge. He nailed it.
Yes.
Pulled out of the last roll, floated the plane into a soft landing. He said when his feet hit the ground, he was still floating. He just screamed for joy.
And that wasn't the end of his career?
No, far from it. The story flashes forward to 1991, Operation Desert Storm. Bruce is flying refueling missions over the Iraqi border.
And he sees the pyramids in Egypt.
And he remembers Joseph. He remembers the faith and the persistence that gave wings to his dreams. It's a beautiful full-circle moment.
It really is. So let's unpack this. We've got 3 pilots, John, Justin, and Bruce. What's the thread here?
It's about the source of capability and, I think, the honesty required to fly. Look at John. He had the skill, he was a good pilot, but he had a physical limit he refused to accept.
He tried to ensure his way around it.
Exactly. But when he abandoned that policy, tragedy struck. He let desire override safety.
And Justin?
Justin is the mystery of talent. He didn't practice, he didn't struggle, he just was. And it's a reminder that some people are just born for something specific.
But you can't rely on being a Justin.
No, you can't plan your life around hoping you're a prodigy. Because most of us are Bruce.
Right.
Bruce represents the rest of us. He failed. He was told he wasn't good enough. But he combined spiritual grounding with incredibly inventive, hard work. He found a way to simulate success in a swimming pool until it became reality.
It seems like aviation just exposes who you are. It rewards the preparation of a Bruce, it reveals the gift of a Justin, and it brutally punishes the complacency of a John.
Well said. The sky is neutral. It doesn't care who you are, only how you fly.
That's a powerful place to land. But before we let our listeners go, you usually have something for them to chew on.
I do. I can't stop thinking about Bruce's swimming pool. I want to ask you, the listener, what is your swimming pool?
What do you mean by that?
We all hit walls where we lack the resources, the time, or the access to the real thing we want to master. Bruce couldn't fly the jet, so he flew the pool. So when you are blocked from doing the thing you love or the thing you need to practice, what is the unconventional, slightly crazy method you can use to simulate it? How can you scrape your knuckles on the concrete so that when you finally get the controls, you don't crash?
I love that. Find your swimming pool. Thank you all for flying along with us on this deep dive. We'll see you in the next one.
Stay safe up there.